Hey everybody. I am currently in bed at the hotel. I look awful. Yay. I'm still in my sweatshirt. It's what I like to wear when I'm cold, and today is like a cold day in Madison, Wisconsin. So I put it on again today. I'm just chilling. We are back at the hotel, obviously. So we got up at 4 a.m. and it was hard to get up this morning. Neither of us, I'll take the glare off there. Neither of us wanted to get up at 4 a.m. Believe me, when my alarm went off, I was like, not having it. But we got up and I ordered the cab and asked for them to be here at 5 for the hospital because we needed to be there at 5:30 to check in. And then when we went out to get it, they said that because they don't have shuttle drivers there, they pay for it. So that was cool. So I didn't have to pay for the cab this morning. So that was neat. But the cab driver didn't know any of that and was kind of cranky, and so he was kind of in a bad mood. So that was awkward and weird. So it was a weird way to start the morning off. But we were able to get to the hospital early. So early that like the department wasn't open yet. So when you get there early like that, they tell you to just go to the waiting room. So we did that, and we were the second people there. The first people there were a couple, and the wife was there because she has an aneurysm. So mom like told her what she was there for, and it was very sad, and mom was trying to get out of having her procedure done even then, and she was making small talk with her, and then the waiting room filled up really quickly as people started to file in and come in, so we were literally the second people there. And then we like checked in, and then mom was like one of the second people called back, and then we got a room, and our room was 23, which actually is like right by the bathroom and like really, really close to where you come in, which was really nice. It's a cute little room. Like, they give you a little room. It has like a little sink, and it has like the gurney stretcher thing in it, and it has like a little the little portable thing where they put in all of your information, like your little computer thing and your monitor and like all of your hookups and everything. And they have like the state of the art stuff. Like, they have a thermometer, and it's not like a typical thermometer. It's like they take your temperature on your forehead, which I had never seen before, so that was really cool. They took her temperature, and her temperature was good. They took her vitals, and her blood pressure was actually like a little low to start, but not so low that it was going to impact the procedure or anything like that. So they put an IV in, and that hurt because she's really sensitive currently to she's just really sensitive. Like, her whole entire body is really sensitive right now because of all the treatments and everything that she's been going through. So it's just been really hard for her in general. So it was kind of painful for them putting in the IV, but they did it as fast as they could, and they got her started on a IV drip to have fluids in. And that was also going to be like the IV for them to be able to put in her medications and things like that. And then we waited for them to get her in a gown and all of that stuff. And they did this weird thing where, like, they warm her up with the gown, but that didn't end up being the gown that they had her in during the surgery. It was, like, a really weird lavender paper gown, and, like, they gave her, like, little gray socks and stuff. She is still, I think, wearing the gray socks that they gave her at the hospital. And then, sorry, I'm doing this from my phone, so if it's a little shaky, pardon me. I'm really tired and trying to give you the best information possible. And then they said that they needed some information from her, so they asked her a little bit of info, and I tried to help, where she didn't remember things or whatever. And then the anesthesia resident came up, and so he asked her a few questions. And she answered them as best as she could, and they were kind of like, what were her experiences with anesthesia previously, and that kind of thing, and all of that jazz. And she told them about her previous experience with anesthesia and how it kind of traumatized her and stuff like that, and they promised her up and down that they were going to do better, and that anesthesia has advanced since then, and that they were going to take good care of her, and that she would talk to the anesthesiologist again when she was downstairs, and that she would talk to her doctor again before the procedure and before they knocked her out. And then he left, and then they came back again to do a few more things, and then they said they were going to take her down, and so she went one way to go down for her procedure, and then I went another way to go to the visitor lounge, but they gave me a pager, and so they were supposed to page me with information when she was in the recovery room, and they said it would be about 3.5 hours, and then they would just say, like, it went okay and she's in recovery, and then they would page me again when she was brought back up to that room, and then I could see her, and then she would have, like, crackers and water, and then she would, like, go pee-pee and walk around and stuff like that, and then she would be able to go home. And I was like, okay, cool. So that was the plan. However, it was like 4 hours, and I hadn't heard from anybody, and the pager hadn't gone off, and I had just sent a message to my boyfriend saying, like, if this pager doesn't go off by the time that I am done texting you, I'm gonna storm them and demand to know something because I'm pissed. And then the pager went off, and they're like, oh yeah, okay, go to room 23. And I'm like, okay, so am I gonna wait for her here? But when I got to room 23, she was already in room 23, which I thought was weird. So there she was, and she had already been in recovery, and so she was out of recovery already. They had already gotten her water, and she was sipping it. Or they had already given her, or no, she was gonna go pee or something like that, so then they got her up and she went pee. And then she was bleeding and had discharge and stuff, and they said that was normal. She's shaky. They said that's normal. She was feeling a little dizzy and stuff. That's normal. She's having cramping. They said that's normal. She's a little foggy. That's normal. And she has burning when she goes pee-pee, because she did get to go pee-pee a little bit. And they said that's normal because they had the catheter in, and her throat really hurts, and that's because they had the breathing tube in. And they said that's normal. So, then they gave her some water, some ice water. She really liked that. That was good. It made her throat feel a little bit better. Then, she drank a little and rested a little bit. They gave her some Tylenol for the cramping. And, we hung out for a little bit. They got her vitals again. Her blood pressure was higher than it was before surgery. They took it twice. Trying to think. I feel like I'm missing something that happened. They had her walk a little bit. She was a little bit, like I said, she was shaking. Her body's been through a lot. Her body's really, really sore because literally they put her body in ways that her body would not normally be. Had it not been for the surgery, they put these bands on her body to manipulate her body so that her body could be in the position that they needed it to be in to make the procedure happen. And as a result of that, she had these like bands around the middle of her body and underneath, and it literally strapped her to the bed and strapped her and literally left like marks on her and stuff. So I mean, that was really painful and has left her very sore, and it was uncomfortable. They had to unstrap her like immediately when I came in. They were doing that, and they manipulated her shoulders in such a way that she was in quite a bit of pain with that. I mean, her shoulders are, sorry that I keep moving and like I'm probably making you guys really dizzy. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to be as stable as I can. They made her like so sore, like she's so sore and it's so much pain, but she didn't want pain medicine. They were like, do you want Tylenol? Do you want something? Like we could give you something. And she was like, no, I'm not in pain. I'll be fine. So she just kind of wanted to get out of there, which I mean, I appreciate. So they really want her to push fluids to get the anesthesia out of her body and stuff. So I've been trying to do that, but she's just so exhausted. So right now she's currently sleeping. They had a girl push her so that I could just carry our stuff and walk kind of behind. And we waited for the shuttle for the hotel. And we got back here around 1, I'm going to say, I don't know what time it is now. Wait, I have a clock right there. I'm going to say we got here around 1:15, 1:30 our time. So about 45 minutes ago, maybe. Half hour ago, 45 minutes ago, something like that. We got home. Well, not home, but to the hotel. Something like that. The shuttle was really quick, and he was very patient because it was very difficult for her to get into the shuttle. And so now she's in her jammies and she's resting. She's trying to rest. Whoops. There we go. Sorry about that. My phone did weird things. So, Mom's trying to rest and be calm and just chill. So she's in her jammies. We're having like a jammy party here at the hotel. And it took a lot more out of her than she thought. And here's hoping that it worked, because it is a lot more difficult than she anticipated it was going to be. She's in a lot more pain than she thought she was going to be. So we're going to be here until tomorrow evening. And then tomorrow evening, We take mom home, she starts to rest, and then we take the cat to the vet because her cat is really sick. So we're dealing with her being sick, we're dealing with the cat being sick, we don't know what's going to go on with that. We're having to dip into emergency funds for that. We're just being hit really, really hard here at Team Man, and we're all exhausted. And then we have to come back and do all of this on Thursday night. For Friday, we're doing this again, and then it's going to go into Saturday. So, yeah, it's going to be a rough week this week for us. And I'm currently dealing with some gastrointestinal issues, so I'm not feeling the greatest, and I'm tired, and just we're taking a lot of personal hits. Team Ann as individuals, as a group, we're just taking a lot of hits, and so it's been rough, but we're fighting through, we're fighting the good fight. We're trying our best. So I'm gonna do something that might get me in trouble, but just to let you see. So that is currently the view. So I hope that you all enjoyed this update and this rare kind of look into our current situation. And I'm sorry that I didn't give better updates from the hospital. It's just literally nobody was updating me, so I didn't have anything to update anybody on. And then I was busy getting the instructions of how to care for mom in the next 24 hours, what I need to do for her, and then getting back to the hotel and trying to make sure that she's comfortable and she has what she needs now that we're here. And so now I'm letting her rest, and then I'm going to be on her hiney about water, fluids, and getting a little bit of something in her tummy because she needs to take some medication in a little while. So that's the update for right now. I'm sorry that it's not longer or anything else. Tomorrow I will update you on the trip back to mom's house, on how she's doing and everything that happens with Jack, mom's cat. But for now, I think I will sign off so I can get a little bit of rest, because I got about 3 hours of disjointed sleep, and then I fell asleep for about 15-20 minutes in the waiting room, and that was an experience to say the least, so my neck kind of hurts a little. So I think I'm gonna take a little nap. Thank you so much for your continued support and prayers and kindness here on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. It means so much. All of the love and support that we've gotten means so much. And even on YouTube and email, it's all meant the world to us, and we appreciate it. And I hope that I've answered any questions that you have. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, or email me, or send me a private message or whatever, and I will answer them as soon as I can. Alright, I think I'm gonna go nap now. Bye.